Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome to a best of two between two fantastic German players here in the bottom left spawning as our blue Protoss player. It is ShoWTimE playing for BIG, and in the top right it is Lambo playing for Team Shopify Rebellion. So we are in a best of two from the most recent Home Story Cup. This was played in the group stage. I'm very curious to see what's going to end up happening here. Lambo is one of these players that, in my mind, has very solid Protoss versus Zerg, or Zerg versus Protoss. He really knows what's up. Has powerful timings. I always struggle against him a lot, personally, and I always see him perform relatively well against all the Korean tosses as well, which is rare. There's not that many foreign Zergs that can perform well against the Korean tosses, but Lambo definitely is one of them. He has very good win rate against Zaun specifically. I know he used to do quite well against, I want to say maybe even Stats. I've seen him play good series against Hero. I'm not sure if he has beaten Hero in recent times, but perhaps. ShoWTimE playing it very safe. First Oracle, just chilling near that Nexus, making sure that no Ling run by is going to take care of this. Second Oracle is on the way, as well as our fourth pylon over here at that Nexus. So a very standard opener out of our German Protoss player, and we're seeing similar things out of Lambo, right? We have that delayed Spore, as is very often the case with Lambo. Going into these queen movements and the overlord vision that he has, that's really the main strength of Lambo. The way that he likes to play is to have two groups of queens that kind of move independent from one another. Ooh. This might be an issue though, because there's no queens here in the natural. There is a Spore, no target fire on the weak Oracle though. That means that a couple of these drones are going to end up falling. Good start here for ShoWTimE. Gets a little bit of damage done with those double Oracles. Lambo's going to be regretting that a bit. And what he needed to do here is, in order for this move to be denied, you need to have your queens on the high ground in this position. And he came from the right, but was just slightly too slow there. Now these two Oracles trying to go into the main base. Take out another drone here. Take out another drone. That is what? 3 more drones going down, and Oracle stays alive. Double Oracle dealing a decent chunk of damage here. 7 workers go down, and I think ShoWTimE is going to be very happy with himself. Charge as well as +1 is on the way. We have a robotics facility, extra gateways. So this is going into 4 gateways. But that robo facility was slightly before. It's really quick. Templar Archives on the way as well. We have even more gates coming down right now. So we're really investing into what seems to me like is going to be a charge +1 push. And it's not uncommon, but it is uncommon to see this many gateways being thrown down before gas 5 and 6, because it delays your gas income, which tends to be the most important thing for Protoss, but it allows you to warp in faster. So I'm curious to see what ShoWTimE wants to do with this. Are we going to see some type of observer into Prism and then a quick push out, or maybe just straight Prism? Wow, look at that, straight Prism, exactly. Yeah, the quick extra gateways. Usually if you see gateway 5 and 6 before gases 5 and 6, that is indicative of some type of push out or some type of aggression that the Protoss wants to apply. It's a good tip for all the Zerg players watching as well, because that is something that you can scout, and you can take a look at these gas timings and be like, hey, this is maybe 10-15 seconds later than they usually are. What is going on over here? And gas timings in PvZ are basically everything. 73 workers still for Lambo, despite losing those initial 7. And is moving out right now with 2 Archons. Our good friend Tobias Sieber, also known as ShoWTimE. +1 is finishing for both players at about the same time. There is no Road Warren here though, and now we're going to see a big warp in. This is 6 minutes and 30 seconds, and we're at 8 Zealots, 2 Archons, and 2 Adepts, as well as these 2 Oracles here. There's really nothing at all for Lambo to defend. He has 8 Queens, but they were not in position. There's no Banelings at all. They're starting to morph. This is just game over in my mind. Link's trying to go in for a flank, but you can't flank Archons with Links. It's simply impossible. Zealot's already connecting with these Queens. First 2 Queens have fallen. More Queens are going down, and with the next Warpins heading over towards, well, what was this, the 3rd base? I honestly believe that this game is completely over. There's just no units that Lambo can build that will help him hold this push. He can't really, well, he can get some Hydras out, but they're going to be split up. It's not enough Hydras. Hydras also aren't great if there aren't any Banelings with them to deal with the Zealots. So yeah, there's just nothing. You need Roaches against this, or you just need to have a couple of Banelings preemptively. You need to have the Queens in position, and then maybe start streaming in the Hydras. But GG gets called. Lambo loses game number 1 in a mere 7 minutes and 22 seconds here on Data C. Map number 2 here, Cosmic Sapphire, as we see a quick probe scout coming out of ShoWTimE. And this probe is going to definitely be capable of blocking his opponent's natural. Lambo will be a little bit upset by that. But he also expected it. I mean, it is just a really common thing to happen to Zergs. And Zergs have pretty much figured out what the optimal response is when it comes to build order, when to build links, where to build links from, how to move your links against potential double adept chrono boost, single adept chrono boost, all of that good jazz. We're gonna have to wait and see how Lambo's going to respond. In the past, he actually has shown the ability to go for some type of link flood in the early game if he gets hedge block, but doesn't quite seem to be the case here at all. So yeah, just something to keep in mind. Well, doesn't seem to be the case yet because, let's face it, there's no pool yet. Could still be a link flood for all I care. Usually you want to pull slightly faster in gas though. So that would be the first tell here. Just pulling 1 in gas, doesn't really seem to be the case, honestly. It's a little bit quicker than usual. Usually you just kind of rally them in gas, so he has a little bit less minerals than in a more normal situation. But oh my god, what is this wall? Oh, ShoWTimE mispositioned his first pylon. That's what this wall is. I was wondering, like, how do you even get this wall going? And then I look at that pylon, and this pylon is completely out of place. This is like me going to someone's sweet 16 birthday party, you know? They'll ask me if I'm the dad. It's like, no, I'm a friend of the birthday boy. It's like, all right, weirdo. Get out of here, son. It's the same with this pylon. This pylon gets bullied. For a good reason. He doesn't belong here. He should be more to the left. Completely fine to bully pylons. In general, it's fine to bully Protosses for their poor SimCity. It actually stuns me often. I know how it happens as well, but it stuns me how many tosses at high level still mess up their walls. It really annoys me. I'm thinking of Hero specifically. Every 10 PvZ Hero games, at least 4 of them have just an incorrect wall. Objectively wrong. There's no excuses for it either. Sometimes, you know, I can kind of see the reason why someone would build the wall slightly different than the meta way or the normal way, but Hero just objectively makes mistakes with his wall. These maps are pretty tricky, honestly. They're kind of weird. It's a very precise pylon positioning, but still, I mean, should be capable of figuring it out. We're pro gamers, for the love of God. Get it together, guys. Make us all look bad. The thing with the other races, they don't really need to wall. You know, it's like Terrans, they build a depot, a barracks, and a depot. It's not really the same type of thing, you know? There's no planning there. Terran walls are by far the easiest thing to build. Zergs in ZVZ sometimes have to wall, and it matters. Similar to how Protoss walls. Their walls also tend to be really, really bad. Just would like to point it out that they also suck. Terrans... Honestly, Terrans sometimes still mess up their wall, despite it literally just being depots. I don't even understand how that's possible. If I were to wall a space, full wall a space with pure pylons, I don't think I'd ever mess it up. Ooh, scatter shot there. Oh, now a double shot on one. Ay. Is that Oracle coming in? It is, but is it in time? It is not. 2 adepts go down. Nexus will go up. This probe in trouble. Nah, he's dead. No, he's not. He's not in trouble. He's safe. Saved by the... Well, not by the bell. Ding! Saved by the Oracle, my friend. Saved... Oh my god. This is still not... But whatever. Let's pretend like it is a... Let's pretend like this is a normal wall, okay? Let's pretend that I'm fine with it. That I'm completely okay with this wall currently. I have no trouble with this wall. It's probably not... The thing is, it's not going to get into play. It's not going to matter this game at all. It still pisses me off. 3rd Oracle on the way, so a slight mix-up here out of ShoWTimE. Once again, though, single gate into that 3rd Nexus, and that I like. That I really do like. A huge fan of the single gate into the 3rd Nexus. Built 4 adepts out of that single gate, though, so allows him some safety, some aggression with the initial 2 adepts, then some safety with the next 2 adepts, but still get a quick timing because you skip the 2nd gate temporarily. Now have a robotics facility as well as a forge coming in. And a 3rd gateway. Okay, ShoWTimE. You want to tell me something? Well, what is this? Robotics facility. The robotics facility this fast in PvZ is like a safety that you don't need, you know? It just doesn't make a lot of sense. It's like going biking with a helmet. Who does that? No one. Except professional bikers, because they go very fast. But if you're on your city bike, no one wears a helmet. That's awful. I've never been in a bike crash in my entire life. If you need a helmet for biking, you probably just need to learn how to bike better. And perhaps if you don't know how to bike better, you know, is there really anything inside of that skull that needs to be protected anyway? It's a good question. I don't have the answers for that. This was a lot of damage. This actually was a crap ton of damage. My girlfriend came over to the Netherlands and she actually did get hit by a car. That was very sad, but that was not her mistake. And maybe her having a helmet there would definitely help. I take it back what I said about the helmets. Where did it come from? Oh, the Robo. Yeah, the fast Robo. This doesn't make a lot of sense. I don't like these quick Immortal builds. Immortals are really, really expensive. Robos are quite expensive. And Immortals also don't really contribute much to the, you know, the bigger picture, so to say. The Immortal is a unit that is nice to have, but it aggressively, it just doesn't do anything early on in the game. What in the world are we? What is this build? I've never seen something like this. He's gonna go into Blink, isn't he? Immortal Stalker into Disruptor into Blink. Now, as a professional StarCraft 2 player, I look at this and I think to myself, Spire. Yeah. Lambo looks at this and thinks to himself, Spire. That probably means they were correct. I mean, this is just charge. For the love of God, ShoWTimE. What is this? Dark Shrine? He's building one of everything. The uncounterable army. People underestimate this. 2 sentries, 6 stalkers, 3 disruptors, 4 DTs, and a couple of zealots. Then he'll transition into Templar, Void Ray, Phoenix, Carrier. Gets the mothership out, and he's good to go. Ooh. I think you can push through this, by the way. I'm not sure. If you like right-click with your link, sometimes you can push through things. It's not really worth it in this case, but it would have been cool to do. Triple Oracle still alive. Lambo is on a very, very high worker count. Does not have the 8 gases yet. Did he cancel the Spire? Okay, he looked at that, thought Spire, then probably got scouted, and then thought, let's not get a Spire again. Let's cancel that Spire. Now he's in this weird position where he's kind of forced into a Ravager-Link Bane all in, but he's fighting against triple Oracles, and he does not have the creep spread available to really deal with this. Like, you need to pull queens forward, basically. Is it 2 disruptors? That's no shot. I mean, in general, this entire push right now is what the young kids would call cap, which means it's not real. You know, this is not a real push. I don't think this is actually. Ooh, oh, wait. Oh, maybe it was no cap. Maybe it's for real, for real. No cap on a stack, as they would say. As we're pushing out here. The Archons, though. You have a lot of tanking ability. There is some stasis. There's a field of stasis mines over here in the back. First Disruptor shot comes out. It's going to connect with a bunch of these queens here. I like that. I really do like that. Can we get another big Disruptor hit? Yes, we can. Couple of stasis in the back providing, well, not a lot of value so far. Ooh, that was a big stasis. That was another big stasis. Archon still alive. Oracles right now pushing out so much damage here. One gets taken out by a Ravager Bile, but yeah, the Oracle's actually saving this fight. If it wasn't for those Oracles, I really do believe that these Archons would be having a very difficult time against a pure Roach army, Roach Ravager army. You just kind of get kited, but not like this. Ooh, that's a lot of low Archons. Is it a not low Archons? I think, yeah, 3 ended up dying there. This Immortal is also pretty dead. There's a lot of cash in the bank right now for ShoWTimE. Does he have the production? And he has 10 gateways. He's adding 2 more gates. He lost 10 workers and is losing more. These things can get into the main base. That would be huge. Lambo needs to expand towards a 5th base and probably should start thinking of transitioning, because despite this being a good fight, I'm not so sure if he can continue attacking into this again and again and again, mainly due to, well, ShoWTimE's rather large bank that he was building up over time. Means that there's... And the Oracle's still alive, of course. That's a big deal as well. Disruptor gets taken out, doesn't get microed. Now we get some Arkham pickups. Perhaps I was wrong. DTs, oh no. DTs versus no detection. Morphs them into Archons. DTs defensively here actually would have been super sick. Just to fight against some of these some of these queens would have been useful. Would have been very useful. Here we go. One queen gets taken out. Double Oracle. Well, doesn't have enough energy really to do anything. Big Zealot Warp in. What is this? This is 2 Archons. They're pretty low in HP. These Archons now also low in HP. Lambo is microing this fantastically. ShoWTimE trying to hold on. This has been a non-stop fight for the past 2.5 minutes, I want to say. And we get the super battery to activate, but Lambo with some cheeky target fire, good splits as well. She's going to lose a single Ravager there against that Disruptor shot. This was off creep as well. Oracle still going ham though. Look at the kills here. 13 kills on the one and 14 kills on the other. And sure, there's some links in there, but it's also Roaches. It's also Ravagers. These Oracles have been absolutely key in this defense. And not having the queens anymore is just such a bad thing to happen here for Lambo. It's such a painful thing that happened. Is that Observer still alive? Yes, it is. You could try and clear some of this creep right now. I wouldn't mind it. It allows your Disruptors to be a lot more effective in catching up with Roaches, with Ravagers, and also Queens can't transfuse anymore, of course, and also can't really walk here at a high speed. One more Disruptor shot is available. One Immortal in the back with 4 kills. Oh, Disruptor gets sniped before it can even do anything. As Lambo, once again, kind of out-microing his opponent. Problem for Lambo here is that he can't really spend all of his money. He's floating a decent chunk right now, 1k resources in total. He's trying to get rid of it. 5th base is on the way as well. Still on 79 workers. Here comes the Disruptor in the back. No, Lambo could have targeted that down. Just eats the shot in that face. Eats the second shot. Well, actually, the Archon took the brunt of that damage. That was a huge shot. 11 kills there. All of that Roaches and Ravagers. If that hadn't happened, I honestly believe that Lambo might have been capable of killing his opponent here. I really would have believed. Now, at this point, after eating those 2 big balls in the face, I think you need an Infestation Pit. I think the transition, the time to transition is here. We see, yeah, there we go. +2 on the range. We get a 6th base as well. We could build like maybe 7, 8 more workers, get the Infestation Pit. There's no +2 yet on melee. If there was +2 on melee, the moment your opponent moves out, you have the ability to counterattack and deal a lot of damage. But without that, counterattacks are still viable, but the likelihood of them getting a lot of damage is a lot lower. So, personally, yeah, I understand why we're going into range, because the only viable transition here, in my mind, is going into Hive and then eventually Lurkers. And initially Vipers and then Lurkers, I think. I don't think ShoWTimE's going to wait for that. And it seems like Lambo also doesn't want to tech into the Hive, despite there being money for an Infestation Pit. There's a bunch of queens in the main, not really doing anything. It's kind of idling. There's a queen over here as well in the natural. I feel like these queens could be at the front, either pushing the creep or doing something else. And it really needs to start pulling them in, because this is starting to get a little bit silly. 194 supply, still no Infestation Pit out of Lambo. He's holding down that unit button, building more and more Banelings. Going up to, what is this, like a 30-ish? There's just so many Archons, though. I think that Lambo can technically win this. Theoretically, he can win this, but he needs to come at an angle. He needs to come from multiple sides, and most importantly, the Disruptors can't connect with large chunks of Roaches, and that went wrong in that last fight. That last fight, a huge Disruptor shot, 11 kills. Came from the side. It was a vulnerable Disruptor. ShoWTimE rallied it and forgot about it, then got in the perfect position. It happens sometimes. That was accidental. This is not enough to go for a proper run by Lambo. Should realize that the moment he sees this, throws down a couple of biles and pulls back immediately. Very good move there out of Lambo. Let's take a look at the first person out of him, see what he's doing. Takes the gold base right now. Still no okay, there we go. Infestation Pit goes down. Feels like it's a little bit overdue. Ooh. There's a Disruptor shot right there. Another Disruptor shot will connect with 1 Ling. This defense could potentially be difficult. That means that the fight here could be as good as it gets. Oh my god, another huge shot there for that Disruptor. What was that? 15 kills or so for a Disruptor. That is not what you want if you're Lambo. I like that he went in on this fight, but if these Banelings hadn't died against the Disruptor shot, once again, this probably would have been completely fine. Yes, he would have lost this base, and he would have lost this fight over here, but he definitely would have destroyed this army, because there would have been more Banelings to connect with these next Zealots. I actually think he might have been capable of pushing through and giving up this base. If he would have saved the drones, send them over to the gold, might not have even been the end of the world. Right now, though, I think this game is pretty much over. 61 workers against 91, +3 available for ShoWTimE. He has 12 gateways. Yep, he does. He has a robotics facility that can still pump out disruptors. There's no hive out. There is no counter for the disruptor right now in this army, and there won't be a counter for the disruptor until like 3 minutes from now, or 2.5 minutes from now or so. ShoWTimE is going to push before that. He's going to push. He has the ability to do run-bys the entire way through. Run-bys are great against roach armies because roaches need to split off in pretty decent numbers in order to deal with this. Banelings are a little bit better at that, more supply efficient. This bottom side base is going to get taken out. There goes your gold-based Lambo. There is one disruptor here. It's not, well, it's going to connect with 2 roaches. And we have our final fight, most likely. Either Lambo's going to win or he can't remax anymore. ShoWTimE with a lot of cash in the bank. With that +3, Super Battery is active still. Oracle's putting in so much work. 15 kills each. Ravagers being targeted down here by them as well. We have this Disruptor shot. Going to connect with 3-4 of these roaches. DT's being warped in as this gets cleaned up. GG gets called. ShoWTimE wins game number 2 as well. Wins the best of 2 with a 2-0 score. And that, my dear friends, is going to be it for this game, for this series. I'll thank you all for watching so much. If you did enjoy this, don't forget to hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Bye-bye.